Hello, and welcome to another episode of Global Table Talk, the podcast where we explore the flavors, customs, and rituals that bring us together across cultures. Today, we're diving into something warm, comforting, and surprisingly complex: tea and coffee. These everyday beverages are far more than just caffeine fixes. In many cultures, they are the centerpiece of hospitality, tradition, and even ceremony. You might be thinking, it's just a cup of tea, or coffee's just part of my morning routine. But around the world, how we drink these beverages, and why, reveals deep layers of meaning. From solemn, meditative rituals in Japan to bold, generous servings in Ethiopia and to qahwa, every culture adds its own flavor, etiquette, and rhythm to the act of drinking tea, or coffee. Think about it. We use tea to welcome guests, coffee to seal a business deal, or both to mark special moments with friends and family. And every time we pour, sip, or serve, we participate in a legacy of human connection that spans centuries. So, whether you're enjoying this episode over a freshly brewed espresso, a pot of green tea, or a spiced Indian chai, I invite you to pause with me. Let's travel together, cup in hand, and explore the global etiquette of tea and coffee, one culture at a time. Because sometimes, the smallest gestures hold the deepest meaning. We begin our journey in Japan, where tea is more than just a drink. It's a quiet ritual rooted in respect and presence. In Japan, tea is far more than a beverage. It's a sacred experience, an art form, and a reflection of the culture's appreciation for precision, respect, and simplicity. The traditional Japanese tea ceremony, known as chanoyu, sado, or chado, is a ritual centered on the preparation, serving, and consumption of matcha, a finely powdered green tea. This ceremony is rooted in Zen Buddhism, with principles like harmony, wa, respect, k, purity, issai, and tranquility, jaku, shaping every gesture. One of the most important ideas is ichigo ichii, one time, one meeting. It reminds everyone present that this moment, this gathering, will never be repeated in exactly the same way. Before entering the tea room, guests bow, remove their shoes, and cleanse their hands and mouths, symbolizing a respectful transition into a shared, sacred space. The host then performs each motion with deliberate grace, from folding the cloth to whisking the matcha. Silence is not awkward here, it's part of the experience. Every element is chosen intentionally. The season's influence can be seen in the floral arrangement or the scroll on display. The guest turns the tea bowl, before sipping to admire its craftsmanship and to show humility by not drinking from its front. Important etiquette to remember. Use quiet gestures and minimal talking. Rotate the bowl before drinking. Show gratitude with a bow or soft thank you. Never point your feet toward the host or tools. In Japan, drinking tea is a way of being present, not just a way to quench thirst. From the meditative stillness of a Japanese tea room, let's travel west to a culture where tea is equally revered, yet far more social and dynamic. Welcome to China. In China, tea is more than just a drink. It's an ancient symbol of respect, reflection, and relationship. With a tea culture stretching back over 5,000 years, it plays an integral role in everything from medicine and philosophy to family gatherings and business meetings. While it may not appear as strictly choreographed as Japan's tea ceremony, Chinese tea etiquette is still full of quiet precision and meaning. One of the most respected traditions is the Gongfu tea ceremony, which literally means making tea with skill. This method uses small clay teapots and tiny cups, often brewing oolong or pu'er tea in multiple short steeps. Each pour becomes part of a gentle, attentive rhythm. It's not about speed or quantity, It's about savoring each infusion and showing care to those you're serving. If you're a guest, always accept tea with both hands. This shows appreciation and respect. And here's a charming bit of history. If someone pours tea for you, it's customary to tap 2 or 3 fingers lightly on the table with your index and middle finger as a discreet gesture of thanks. This tradition comes from the Qing dynasty, when a disguised emperor served tea to his followers. To avoid exposing his identity, they bowed with their fingers instead of their bodies. A few etiquette points to remember. Never pour your own cup first, always serve others first. Tapping fingers, a silent thank you. Don't overfill your cup, leave room to savor. Placing the lid sideways on the pot signals you're finished. In China, tea is an act of connection, humility, and social grace. Now let's follow the aroma of spices and steam to India, where tea becomes a vibrant, spiced celebration of daily life, shared across streets and homes. In India, tea, or more precisely, chai, is not just a drink. It's a cornerstone of social life, a symbol of hospitality, and a daily ritual that cuts across region, religion, and class. Whether you're visiting a friend's home, waiting at a train station, or pausing at a roadside stand, a steaming cup of chai is never far away. Chai in India is often boiled with strong black tea leaves, milk, sugar, and a fragrant mix of spices like ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, or cloves. Every region, and every family, has its own secret recipe. You'll find it sold at small street stalls called chaiwalas, who pour it with theatrical flair into tiny glasses, or eco-friendly clay cups, cool heads. Each sip is bold, sweet, and warming, perfect for conversation. Unlike the formal rituals in Japan or China, Indian tea etiquette is rooted in warmth and welcome rather than strict rules. Offering chai is almost a reflex. It's how people say hello, you're welcome here, or let's chat. It's considered rude to refuse, unless you do so politely and with reason. Key etiquette to keep in mind. Always accept chai when offered. It's a sign of welcome. Hold the cup gently with both hands, especially when served in clay cups. Don't rush. Chai is meant to be sipped slowly, while chatting. Guests are always served first. In India, chai is more than a beverage. It's a daily anchor, a form of social glue, and a reminder that some of life's best conversations begin with a shared cup. From clay cups to tulip-shaped glasses, our journey continues to Turkey, a country where tea isn't just offered, it's expected, and every sip draws people closer. In Turkey, tea, chai, is more than a drink. It's a daily ritual, a gesture of hospitality, and a symbol of trust and friendship. Whether you're in a bustling market, a coastal ferry terminal, a village home, or an office meeting, you're bound to encounter someone holding a glass of deep red tea. It's served in iconic, slender tulip-shaped glasses that help retain warmth, while beautifully showcasing the color of the brew. Unlike the formal ceremonies of East Asia, Turkish tea etiquette is informal, but rich in meaning. When tea is offered, it's more than politeness. It's an invitation to pause, connect, and enjoy a shared moment. Declining the first offer may come across as distant or even impolite, so it's customary to accept, even just to sip. Tea is traditionally brewed using a chaidanlok, a two-tiered teapot. The top pot contains a strong infusion of tea leaves, while the bottom pot holds boiling water used to dilute the tea to your taste. Each glass is prepared by mixing the strong tea with hot water from below, allowing people to adjust the strength to their liking, a chick, light, or demly, strong. Sugar cubes are often offered, but milk is not typically used in Turkish tea culture. Etiquette tips. Gratefully accept the first glass offered. Hold the tulip glass near the rim. It keeps your fingers from burning. Stir gently with the small spoon provided, avoid slurping. When you're finished, place the spoon across the top of the glass to signal you're done. Into a qahwa. Tea is not just about caffeine, it's about care, connection, and the warmth of everyday togetherness. A small glass, yes, but filled with big meaning. Let's swap the tulip glass for a porcelain teacup and head to the United Kingdom, where tea time comes with scones, etiquette, and a whole lot of tradition. In the United Kingdom, tea is a national tradition and cultural cornerstone. From daily tea breaks to formal afternoon teas, the British have elevated tea drinking into both a ritual and a comfort. But these occasions differ quite a bit, and the etiquette, especially at a formal setting, can be surprisingly specific. Let's talk about afternoon tea, a tradition that dates back to the early 1800s, when Anna, the Duchess of Bedford, began taking tea with light snacks to fill the long gap between lunch and dinner. Today, afternoon tea is a popular outing that includes a pot of black tea, often Earl Grey, English breakfast, or Darjeeling, served with milk and sugar. Alongside the tea, you'll find finger sandwiches, scones with clotted cream and jam, and delicate pastries. While it's a relaxed occasion, some proper etiquette still applies. Stir gently, moving the spoon back and forth, never in circles, without clinking. Always remove the spoon from your cup before drinking. Hold the cup by the handle only, never loop your finger through it. Contrary to popular belief, lifting your pinky finger is not proper. That's a Victorian-era myth. Scones should be split by hand, not cut with a knife, and topped individually. At home, tea is less formal but just as meaningful. Offering tea to a guest is an everyday gesture of kindness, whether in joy or sorrow. In Britain, tea represents calm, comfort, and conversation, a simple drink with the power to bring people together. From polite parlors to fragrant hearths, let's head to the birthplace of coffee, Ethiopia, where the bean is roasted, brewed, and honored in a sacred, slow ritual. Ethiopia is often celebrated as the birthplace of coffee, and in no place is coffee more revered than here. But this isn't your typical grab-and-go morning fix. In Ethiopia, coffee is deeply woven into the spiritual, social, and cultural fabric of life, especially through a beautiful tradition known as the bunna, or coffee ceremony. This ceremony is usually performed by a woman, often the matriarch of the household, and it's considered an honor to be invited. The experience unfolds slowly and mindfully. First, the raw coffee beans are roasted over an open flame, filling the room with rich, earthy aromas. Guests are often encouraged to inhale the scent, a sensory invitation to the ritual. The beans are then ground by hand using a mortar and pestle, and finally brewed in a traditional clay pot called a jebana. 3 rounds of coffee are served: Abol, the first, Torna, the second, and Baraka, the third, with each round becoming slightly milder. These stages symbolize respect, friendship, and blessing. It's customary to stay for all 3 rounds. Leaving early may be seen as impolite or even dismissive. Etiquette reminders. Stay seated, attentive, and present. This is not a rushed affair. Accept coffee with both hands and compliment the host's effort. Sip slowly, and if snacks like popcorn or roasted barley are offered, enjoy them graciously. Participate in conversation. It's part of the ritual. In Ethiopia, coffee is not just a drink, it's a sacred act of community, reflection, and gratitude. As we sip through Africa's heritage, we now arrive in the heart of the Middle East, where coffee speaks volumes of honor, hospitality, and ancient customs. Across the Middle East, Particularly in the Gulf region and Saudi Arabia, coffee, or qahwa, holds a place of great importance. It's not just a warm beverage, it's a gesture of respect, generosity, and status. Brewed with green coffee beans, cardamom, and sometimes saffron or cloves, Arabian coffee has a distinctive, slightly bitter taste, and it's often served alongside sweet dates to balance the flavor. The preparation and serving of coffee follow a ritual steeped in centuries-old customs. The host, or someone designated, pours the coffee from a long-spouted pot called a dalla into small handleless cups known as finjan. These cups are intentionally only partially filled, usually about a third full. A full cup might imply that the host is eager to end the visit, so serving a small amount encourages the guest to enjoy several refills. Key etiquette points. Guests are served in order of seniority or social rank, typically from right to left. The guest should accept the cup with the right hand, never the left. When you're finished, a gentle shake of the cup indicates you've had enough. Refusing coffee outright may be seen as disrespectful, so even a sip is appreciated. In these cultures, offering qahwa is often the first act of hospitality, even before food or water. It's a sign of welcome, peace, and honor, making each cup far more than just a drink. It's a powerful symbol of tradition and human connection. And finally, we land in Italy, where coffee is a concentrated shot of culture, speed, and taste. Let's slow down for a moment and drink it fast. In Italy, coffee isn't just a drink, it's a daily ritual, a social cue, and a cornerstone of culture. And when it comes to Italian coffee, espresso reigns supreme. But don't expect a long, drawn-out cafe visit. Italian espresso culture is fast, focused, and deeply structured by etiquette. Most Italians drink their coffee standing at the bar, exchanging a few words with the barista or fellow patrons before moving on with their day. Espresso is served in small porcelain cups, strong and concentrated, and typically downed in just a few sips. It's all about quality over quantity, no oversized mugs here. Some key rules apply. Never order a cappuccino after 11 a.m. It's strictly seen as a breakfast drink, and having milk later in the day, especially after a meal, is considered bad for digestion. Don't ask for an espresso, just say un café. That's how it's understood locally. To-go cups are rare. Coffee is meant to be consumed on the spot, savored quickly but mindfully. Payment customs vary. In many bars, you drink first and pay after, but in busier spots, you may need to pay in advance and show a receipt. Don't linger too long. Coffee bars are designed for brief, intentional stops, not extended stays. In Italy, coffee reflects a broader philosophy. Keep it simple, do it well, and live in the moment. One shot of espresso holds centuries of tradition, pride, and connection. So, what can we learn from a cup of tea or coffee? As we've journeyed from the tea rooms of Kyoto to the espresso bars of Rome, it becomes clear that these everyday rituals hold something far greater than caffeine. They are expressions of hospitality, patience, identity, and community. Whether it's a delicate tea ceremony in Japan or a casual cup of chai shared on an Indian street corner, these customs are windows into cultural values and social norms. What may seem like a simple act, pouring a drink, offering a cup, taking a sip, often carries unspoken meanings. To accept tea in China is to show respect. To participate in Ethiopia's coffee ceremony is to honor connection. And even the quick pace of Italian espresso reflects a cultural rhythm that values tradition and efficiency. In a fast-moving world, tea and coffee offer us a rare chance to pause, reflect, and connect with others and with ourselves. They create space for conversation, comfort, and appreciation. And by learning the etiquette that surrounds them, we don't just avoid a cultural misstep, we also show care and curiosity, which are essential to meaningful exchange. So next time you enjoy your favorite brew, take a mindful moment. Consider its origins. Reflect on the hands that prepared it and the traditions it carries. In doing so, you're not just sipping a drink, you're tasting a bit of the world. Thank you for joining me on this global tasting journey. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to share it with another tea or coffee lover. Until next time, sip slowly, stay curious, and keep exploring, one cup at a time.